Welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. This is Officialdregs. This is BlastBoxx TV speaking. I'm doing a video about follow-up on Ivelisse being released from AEW on a per-pay appearance, not a contract, pay per appearance. So she was there for a certain amount of dates, and she was getting paid for it, not a official contract like everybody else is getting. It has been speculated that she was released because she was having issues with people in the back and quote-unquote people using September 11th or whatever match against Thunder Rosa as an example of her being unprofessional and causing drama. And she has a history of this to say. Now, I've been following her since she was in Lucha Underground, and I've been seeing some of her matches when she was in TNA and a few other places. From what I can say is, yeah, she has wrestled a lot of places. I think at least 20 promotions, maybe a little bit more. But the thing is people want to say, is she done with wrestling? Is she done with all these promotions because she's a drama? I spent about 30 minutes today putting together the photo you see right now on the screen and the list of the promotions she's been working with since she's been in the business. And I formulated all of them down. And it's kind of telling that people don't want to look deeper into the meaning or deeper into the numbers than whatever the media is perceiving than what the facts are. She wrestled for World Wrestling Council about 20 matches between 2005 2008. Again, independent. They book her when they need her. That's not a contract. AEW, she wrestled 24 matches between 2019 and most recently. And it's kind of shocking when you go through her cage match or go through all the listings of her previous matches. This year she wrestled about 8 matches for AEW. All right, that's kind of low, whatever. It's the beginning of the year, so it's going to be like that. Last year she wrestled 17 matches for AEW. So there's a big difference. However, when you look at the rest of the picture, you'll see what's going on. She wrestled about, I think, 5 matches or so this year so far. Maybe more. No, it has to be around 20 this year for Independence Place and stuff like that. But when she started working with AEW, some of her bookings started to get limited. Because when you work with AEW, which I found out from an independent source that they control the wrestler's booking. So, if she is in trouble, more than likely she's taking booking to put more money in her pocket instead of sitting around waiting for people in AEW to book her for a match, which majority of the times when she's in the match, she's actually the better wrestler in there. To excuse Diamante, she's great too. Ivelisse, when she's in singles matches or whatever, she's usually the star of that match. So you can say real Velvet and all this. No, Ivelisse is still the top woman in that company, belt or not. She's the veteran. She's better than mostly all the women in that promotion right now. And anybody got an issue with that? That's fine with me. I'm still going down this list. When she was with Florida Championship Wrestling, she wrestled 20 matches. When she was with Shine, but she still is with Shine because she is the champion, she wrestled 43 matches, and her most recent match was this year, so she's still with the company. And she was also a one-time Shine Women's Tag Team Champion with Mercedes Martinez, who's also in the wrestling industry for 20 plus years, whereas Ivelisse is 17. But they both Mercedes can even vouch for Ivelisse. So people want to doubt Ivelisse because she's hot-headed or hot-tempered. Talk to Mercedes. Mercedes is just like her, but a little bit older and a little taller. And she'll tell you, Ivelisse is just like her, even more, because she's not going to hold her tongue for nobody. She's not going to back down from nobody. She's not going to play the politic game where I'm going to have to use the office or whatever to get an advantage. No, she's the veteran, and the rules are when the veteran's in the match with you, you go by their example. And if you want to throw your stuff in, hey, can I throw my stuff in? She's gladly to do that. She was with Lucha Underground for how long? And she was working with so many veterans there. And that's another reason why right there. Wherever she worked, there was always veterans. Veterans in the office. Veterans owning the promotion. Veterans who know her. With AEW is a bunch of little boys in the office. Now people can say, oh, these guys are not little boys, these blah blah blah. It's like, no. Look at the roster. Look at who's in management. It's nothing but the elite guys. What are they? They're ego driven. They want everything for themselves. So when a little what word did Ivelisse say? Snake, or I'm say serpent in this case, starts to buddy up with the management. What happens when you buddy up with the management? They give you more of a push. Think about it. After that match with Ivelisse, who's been featured more on TV? It's because people in power who has the advantage, they don't like people who speak up for themselves, who stand their ground, who do what they have to do to survive. Most of those guys in the AEW, they was handed shit since they was young. They never knew how to grow up with nothing. Come to this country with nothing. Ivelisse done everything she has to get to the place where it is right now, to wrestle the best way she can, to put all her heart in the ring and do what she has to do to survive in the wrestling industry. Because if you don't stand up for yourself, you see how many people are not to put down any of the women speaking out. You see how many women out there now confessing all the stuff that happened to them years ago. Well, Ivelisse, she speak up from the moment. Hey, this shit's going on right now. Y'all better stop this shit. What happens? Oh, let's release Ivelisse. Then when shit starts to hit the fan, what happens then? Truth comes out. That's why she was let go from WWE, because she spoke up about Bill DeMott. What happens? They got rid of her. I'm in the same situation with her. I'm 31. I've been working in the food industry since 2015. I've been through at least 20 different employers. Why? No, not 10. I mean 20. About 10, maybe 15. Because when I see some stuff going wrong, I speak up. If I lose a job, I'm fine with that. At least I got my morals. At least I got my spirituality. At least I got my confidence in myself to find another job and know that I'm not going to let some stuff slide. Then some stuff happens and I regret not speaking up further. So when people don't want to look at that, that tells you how clueless they are when it comes to the bigger picture in wrestling. Not done with this list yet, because it's a very nice list. She's with Lucha Underground. She wrestled 48 matches between 2014 and 2018. Some of that time she was injured, which is valid because there are a lot of people who get injured all the time, and she had the bad luck of getting injured. There were some guys that was in Lucha Underground that got injured, and nobody said anything about that, so nobody can hold that against her. I will bring that up again. Next is Reality of Wrestling, which is Booker T's promotion. She has 3 matches there. Again, independent. They don't have a big TV deal or owner or whatever. I know Booker T owns it. He's a millionaire, but he's not gonna put all his money into that. So they got slim pickings. I know a lot of wrestlers that wrestled there for like maybe 2 or 3 matches and they haven't been called back. So to hold that against her is very invalid because you have to do the same thing for everybody else. The next one is Full Impact Pro Wrestling, 5 matches, which was in 2014. Again, small. They're not going to have enough money to sign her, or she doesn't fit in somewhere. It's part of the industry. People don't hold it against her. It's pretty stupid. I can do the same thing for some of the guys on the roster right now. She was with AAA for 3 matches, 2014. That was around the same time Lucha Underground was started. So pretty much she was there to, it's pretty much like a workout, try out whatever she got to Lucha Underground from that. So I'm not holding that against her because I'm at that to her Lucha Underground time. So it is what it is. You don't want to hold it against her. It don't matter because I can use the same things I'm saying right now against some of the guys on the roster right now who won't beat me well without having handouts from friends. Next one, she was with the World Wrestling League, 7 matches, 2013, 2015. Again, small, not going to have that much of a chance to have like a full-time schedule. Anybody who knows wrestling knows how small some of these promotions are. You're not going to get a big deal from them, a big contract, whatever, to stay with them because they cannot afford that. Lastly, she was with Tna Wrestling. She wrestled 5 matches between 2012 2013. Again, nobody looked deep into the context of the promotion or what's going on. During that time, Tna was going down because of them signing Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan, what is his name, Ric Flair, and a few other people. So of course they're not gonna have money like that to keep her. So it's not her fault, and it's also not something you can hold against her because she was brought into a shitty situation that was not under her control. If it was under her control, she would have been like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do that, guys. You guys need to give me a solid more push or whatever and some shit like that. So for people to say all these things about Ivelisse right now and they don't have the full proper contacts about her, please look up the information. I just read all this stuff off of her off cagematch.com or net one of the two, and it wasn't that long to find out all the information I need from her, about her. Now people who tend to like all elite wrestling, they never, how can I put this? They cannot think for themselves. They follow whatever hit piece or whatever podcasters or reporters, quote unquote, journalists say about her without looking deeper into the information. Again, I was told by somebody who knows about AEW's how should I say, booking or pay contract structure, and that they said from the beginning, if you're a wrestler and you have no place to work during this pandemic, people was going there on AEW Dark. They wasn't signed to Dynamite because that would mean they have to give up their obligations to the independent scene, just work for AEW. And right now, AEW has way too many people on the roster to even consider signing more people just to sign them. Then they'd be no better than the WWE. I think it was last week or the week before, Ivelisse wrestled Sue Young. I think this is the second time she wrestled her. I'm not sure, but she retained her LNO championship against her. And as you can see on the screen, anytime she held a belt, most of the times it's for a long reign. Generally, it's not that long due to how independent booking is. So when the companies put like Shine, they have her winning the title 3 times. That means they show faith and trust in her. Again, She's working with Shine, one of the oldest women's promotions out there. Work with a whole bunch of women there. If there was any women in Shine that had a problem with Ivelisse, they would have said something by now. But all you hear is people, on the inside, this is what they've been saying. If those people got something to say, they can speak up. Because wasn't it not too long ago that Tessa Blanchard was caught saying the N-word and doing all these bullying things, and people for days was coming out saying stuff about her. Ivelisse haven't said anything bad about, haven't said anything negative, like cursing or swearing or threatening anybody. You hardly hear any of these wrestlers who worked with her come out and say, oh, Ivelisse is this, Ivelisse is that. It's just one wrestler she has an issue with in an entire company, which I don't consider them a true promotion, because all it is a bunch of people getting hired because their friends are the Elite, the Young Bucks, Cody and all this. And for the people bashing her for, oh, you not working like you're supposed to, you're not selling. She had an issue with one match with Thunder Rosa back in September, I do believe, sometime last year. Meanwhile, she's wrestled plenty of places this year. Consider, 5 is not a lot, but what's going on with the pandemic, I consider that a lot. Well, she was working the way she always worked with the women who knew how to work with her. The thing is, I think Thunder Rosa or whoever it is, I'm not just picking on Thunder, was getting under Ivelisse's nerves because they see how talented she is. They see that she has more of a brain for the industry than whoever have an issue with her. And when she speaks up, because she's not going to back down for nobody, that person got offended. Now, I'm not going to come out and say, oh, I defend Ivelisse for everything she said or everything she did. There's a lot of stuff I don't know what she did. There's a lot of stuff that she probably did that she probably apologized years ago or whatever just to make amends and get it off her conscience. I don't know. And here's the thing. I don't care. Anytime I seen her wrestle, I was genuinely happy. Anytime she was on the show where it was selling tickets so you can watch online, I was happy. Why? Because she's entertaining. She doesn't have a big head. She is humble. She's respectful. People can say she's not respectful. You need to look in the mirror, because I'm pretty sure the same way you acting right now towards Ivelisse, you're not respectful, so nobody should respect you, so check yourself. Ivelisse doesn't bother anybody. When you see her online posting stuff, she's interacting with her fans. If she's not doing that, she's playing with her dog Aries. Or she is working out, minding her own business. So for people to get on her because of she don't want to play the little politic game up in AEW, that says more about the company than it does her. You can say, oh, like I said before, you can say, oh, she doesn't work places. She can't even work places, all this blah, blah, blah. Wrestling, look at the landscape of the wrestling world right now. Limited places to work. Some of these places do not have the money to sign her to matches because it's independent. Those are not guaranteed contracts. They will give you money as much as they can. Would it be nice for her to be on Dynamite TV? Sure. But that would mean she would have to give up doing independent dates. That means she would have to give up being self-sufficient. That would mean she had to give up being determined on her own dreams and be like the guys on AEW right now that only work once a week, and even then their shit is terrible. I'm not putting this on, I'm excluding Pentagon, I'm excluding Phoenix. The rest of the guys on there, for as much shit Ivelisse is getting for not selling, those guys can't sell for shit. Sorry for my language, but I hate when people are hypocrites. They will get on one person for something, but I can point to an entire roster of guys that doing the same damn thing. Nobody saying anything. Double standard. Double standard. When Pentagon Jr. was in Lucha Underground, he was a legit threat. Everything about him was built to mean he's a badass and he will snap your arm in a minute. Phoenix was an underdog inspiration for people that he'll keep coming back, and put on the best matches that he can. Ivelisse, she got injured. Even then when she was injured, she still did her best to wrestle. Most of the guys in AEW or wherever who's complaining, if they got injured, they would be sitting down somewhere and saying, you know what, I'm going to take time off. Or they won't even finish the match. Ivelisse, she finished the match with a broken leg. Didn't complain or anything. Broken leg, still got back in the match the best she can and moved on. So people tell me, how is this woman with this? I'm showing you all her resume, the majority of her resume. How is she not a team player? She wants the best for everybody. She struggles and she fights it hard at everybody. One of her former bookers that she used to work for and friends with, Hugo, he even said she did nothing wrong. Him and her are very tight and they talk all the time that I know of, and he can vouch for her. He's a veteran in his business just as well, if not longer than most of the guys in AEW. They can say, hey, she works as hard as she can because that's who she is. She grew up with nothing. She came over here from Puerto Rico, made her way up to Chicago, wrestling that same male. You bunch of friends. Then she spread out all around the country and wrestled. She never asked for a handout. Hell, she never got a referral to a job, to a promotion. She didn't have no friends in promotion to say, hey, give Ivelisse a chance, blah, blah, blah. No, Ivelisse worked her ass off. Period. And people, like I said before, you can say I'm shielding or being a simp for her. Here's the thing. I never, ever sent her money. If I ever did, it's because I bought something from her merchandise. Period. And what would be the difference if I sent, let's see, Lynch Archer money, or Pentagon money, or any of them money? Would you call me a simp? Or a shill? Or any of that stuff? No. But if it's Ivelisse, it's a different story. She's the go-to punchline. We can make fun of her because she's not around, blah, blah, blah. No. And that is another reason why I do not watch AEW. Because people who create an environment like that, I want nothing a part of. Why would I want to be part of an AEW fan base that is so toxic like that? I have no interest in that. So wherever Ivelisse goes, I'm going to be watching and I'm going to buy a ticket, even if it's online. Why? Because when it comes down to who do I want to support, somebody that got a handout from a friend and their shit in the ring is terrible, or somebody who scrapped from the ground up, knows where their heart is, know where their loyalty is, know where their life is. Who am I going to root for? Am I going to root for somebody that's flashy, or somebody that try to do all these top rope stuff and all this stuff, and it looks like shit? Or I'm gonna root for somebody that's almost 20 years in the business, doesn't do half the shit that all these other people do, and that shit still look good. Again, it's not hard. So all these people that saying, "Oh, Britt Baker, she's better than Ivelisse," no. Thunder Rosa, she's a few inches short of being what Ivelisse is. Yes, Thunder, she got her own little promotion and stuff like that. So I think she's gonna try do the same thing what AEW is flex her muscle, make herself look at the big person. Again, I'm not saying she's the target of this whole thing, but at the same time, it seems suspicious. So wherever Ivelisse goes, I'm there. I know plenty of other people who are going to be backing her up. And you know what? Ivelisse don't even have to do shit. She gets comments from people daily about being uplifting, being special, being helpful. Now, if Impact picked her up, I'd be happy for that. Why? Because, one, they're in one location. Most of the people in that ring is plenty of veterans. A few of them know Ivelisse, and they know that they can go the limit with her, period. They don't need to do no hardcore matches. They don't need to worry about stupid stars. They go there to work. AEW is the land of the boys and girls to play. Ivelisse is not there to play. Havoc is not there to play. Nevaeh, even though she's going from TNA, she's not there to play. None of the women in Impact are there to play. WWE is a foregone conclusion because of how they handle the stuff with her. And people can say, but there's no other place to go. Yes, there is. There's people making a living in AAA. People making a living in the Crash Network, the Crash promotion in Tijuana. People are making a living in NWA. If there's a will, there's a way. So if you want to mock her, be sure to understand that there'll be at least 3 to 5 fingers pointing back at you. Now, I'm going to wrap this up. If I get any hate comments or whatever on my podcast or my channels, that's fine. It just shows that I'm exposing the truth, and you people do not like the truth, and you want to believe wherever AEW wants to feed you or whoever wants to feed you. I took the time to make the picture that you see right there 30 minutes. I went to go look up information. That took me about 15 minutes, so I had to sort everything out. I think for myself. I do the research myself, due diligently. So if anybody want to come at me, that's fine. You want to leave some hate and rude comments on my podcast video, you do that. I already have the filters up. So any little hateful comment you got on there, it's not going to make it because I review all my comments. And yes, I talk a lot of shit myself, but when it comes to posting videos like this where I'm looking for civil discussion, if you can't have a civil discussion, your comment's not going to be shared. Just like my Twitter. My Twitter is set to mute notifications for people I don't follow. So you can comment on any of my posts. I'm not going to see unless I go back and check all my posts and see who commented. That means you have no power. You have no control. So I suggest you get a life. Stop believing everything what AEW tells you or whoever tells you that has a grudge against Ivelisse, and understand that when there's a will, there's a way, and Ivelisse is going to find a way, and you reap what you sow. So if you negative to her, it's going to come back on you. But hey, that's BlastBoxx TV for you. Sorry this video went extra long. I had to get all that shit in, so you know the routine. Like, share, follow, comment. I just turned one of my Instagram accounts into public. Nothing on there. So if you try anything on there too, same results. So BlastBoxx TV. Stay out of the blast race. You just got burned.